help the masses navigate through their financial situations, whether it's on the radio, TV, or his best-selling books. Money management expert Dave Ramsey sat down with entrepreneur, correspondent, and founder of The Pursuit, Kelsey Humphreys, to talk about failure, how to grow your business, and of course, money.
Chances are you have heard of Dave Ramsey. He is a national radio host, a TV personality, a best-selling author, and he's the money management expert behind Financial Peace University. He is now the CEO of Ramsey Solutions, and he has a really popular story. He and his wife went bankrupt when they were young. Then he rebuilt his life and started a business that grew from a church Sunday school class into a media empire employing more than 500 people. Along the way, he wrote 5 New York Times best-selling books. He grew his audience to over 12 million weekly listeners and has had more than 4 million customers go through his flagship program.
All of a sudden, you're seeing some momentum. You've got one guy partnered with you. Then how did you grow it into what is now this amazing Ramsey Solutions? But let's talk about the first few years.
I think the first few hires were just the hardest because I was so bad at it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I got work to do. You want to help me get the work done? And people would say, yeah, I'll give you money to help me get the work done. And I thought everybody that came to work worked, but they don't. And I thought they'd tell the truth and that they wouldn't talk about you behind your back. And I just thought people were, but good Lord, I mean, the drama and the stuff we've been through. But
so how'd you overcome that?
Just a little bit at a time. We started recognizing, okay, here's a behavior we're not going to sanction. And we start talking about it, and talking about it became a value, and the value became a cultural icon. And so, we don't do gossip. And so we are all self-employed. We all act like we're self-employed around here. And so, with the momentum theorem and this and that and this and that. And we just, once we start saying, okay, this is how we want business to be done, this is who we are. If you align with that, you're going to get to be here. If you don't, then we're going to set you free in Jesus' name. And so we set some folks free in Jesus' name for different things. But and some of them quit because they just thought we were weird, and we are weird. But this is how we do it, and if you want to play on this team, this is the colors we wear.
What's maybe some mistakes people make getting things out, launching products, launching, maybe even launching their business, but some things you see people maybe should do or shouldn't do?
The mistake that I made, and I think I see it a lot as well, was that you get so enamored with your idea, and it's like your child. It's like nobody's baby's ugly, and yet there's some ugly babies. But but my baby's not ugly, and
right.
You get so enamored with the thing that you don't realize that you're probably going to crush that thing about 6 times. I mean, its 1.0 version is never going to be where you end up. And you're going to, in our culture today, with the rate of change we have, you're going to iterate. And if you don't iterate, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And so don't get too married to your first version.
Okay.
Because it's not going to be the only thing you ever do.
Right.
And, an example of that is Financial Peace University. You think about all the ways we have done it over the years. It started with an overhead projector and then went to VHS tapes and then to CDs, and certainly we've got a full online initiative now and some iteration and stuff we haven't rolled out yet on that's even going to be beyond that. That's very cool and very cutting edge. But if we kept doing it in the internet age the way that we did then, it would not be here.
Right.
And so you've got to not change your principles, but change your processes. You have to kill the sacred cows every morning. You have to hear them mooing and shoot them. Eat them for breakfast.
What's your advice for bouncing back after just a big fat failure?
I think if you just know that failure's coming and go, failure's not really failure unless you quit. If you quit, it's failure. If you don't quit, it's an experiment. And we experimented on this. It didn't work. Another one. Experiment on that. Didn't work. Another one. We hired that guy. That was an experiment. Bad experiment. Get another one. And and you just try. And some of them break your heart more than others because you're invested emotionally into the experiment, and so it feels like failure. It rips your heart out sometimes, or it leaves a scar on your psyche or whatever. But it's not like you're flippant about it. Sometimes I'm flippant about it though. It's just like that sucked. It didn't work. Okay, let's do something else. But it's, if you look at it as I'm gonna fail forward, as John Maxwell's book says, then you will. And I've met with so many of these people, whether they're professional athletes or rock stars in the music world, or they're big-time authors or speakers or business CEOs, every one of them are colossal failures.
Yeah.
I mean, they failed so much. It's unbelievable. They just didn't quit, and they just said, okay, not doing it that way, not doing it that way. We're gonna do it this way. Course correct. That hurt. I don't want to do that. Ouch. And you just course correct, and keep going. And it's so fun because really, when you get on the gleaming mountain of success, you realize it's not really a gleaming mountain. It's more like a pile of garbage, and you're just standing on it instead of laying under it. And if you just keep looking at it that way, you go, okay, one more thing to stand on. One more thing to stand on. We're going to do better, and we don't want to make the same mistake twice, hopefully. But even then, it was an experiment. Oh yeah, now I did it twice. For sure, not going to do it 3 times. And you just keep going and adjusting, and it's course correcting. And you bump into something, you turn, bump into something, and you turn, hit a problem. I was in a meeting the other day. One of our guys had a diagram of how many roadblocks he had run into on this thing, and then he wanted to completely change the whole thing, and I went, no, you're almost there.
Yeah,
You've almost broken through. We figured out a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't work.
To hear more of Dave's interview, go to Kelsey's website, thepursuit.tv.